Hello, myself Nishant Sharma, and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is the real numbers. So, in this part, we are going to start the introductory part for this chapter. So, this part would contain all the elements that are prerequisite to study this chapter. So, let's start with the types of numbers. So, first of all, natural numbers. They comprise us of all the counting numbers. They comprise us of all the counting numbers. So after this, we have the whole numbers that comprises of all the counting numbers and including 0. Let us, we can define it as all the whole number comprises of all the natural numbers and including 0. Then we have integers. Integers, they are all positive as well as negative integers including 0. Num so then we have the rational numbers. So, for example, we can have negative numbers like -1, then we can have positive numbers as well, and we can even have a fractional numbers. So, the rational numbers are defined as a number that can be written in the form of p by q, where p and q they are integers and q should not be equal to 0. It is a prerequisite. So this is the structural form, and there are some properties of rational numbers. So the first property is that the rational numbers must be terminating. That is, if we have a decimal expansion of, for example, 5 upon 2, so this is going to be equal to 2.5. So it is ending after a decimal position, and hence we can consider it as a rational numbers. And also, rational numbers can be defined as a number that is non-terminating, but if it is repeating. So if we take the example of 10 upon 3, so when we divide this number, we get 3.333 and so on. So this we represent as by giving it a bar at the top. So this number, it is not terminating, but even though it is a rational numbers, because after the decimal position it keeps on repeating. So this is all about rational numbers. So now let us turn our definition to the irrational numbers. So what are irrational numbers? So they are all the numbers that cannot be written in p by q form where q is not equal to 0. So they have properties just opposite to that of the rational numbers. So, uh, defining it, they even possesses some properties, and that is they are non-terminating as well as non-repeating. For example, if we take the example of root 2, so this number is never going to end. It will have an infinitely long digit of integers. So such numbers which don't terminate when we try to express them in the decimal form. So these numbers are called irrational numbers. So now come to the term of real numbers. That is the name of this chapter. So real numbers, they can be defined in terms of rational and irrational numbers. They comprises of a set, or they comprises of all the numbers which are rational and irrational number. So this is all about what we are going to study in this chapter. So after that, in class 11th, you will also be studying about imaginary numbers. imaginary number. So it is something that requires a high level of knowledge. So if I have to give a brief explanation of it, then it is a number that does not exist in reality. So we can just imagine it, and it is represented by the letter I, that is iota, that is given to equal to the negative root of 1. As we would know that the negative root of 1 is not defined, but it is defined in an imaginary world. So let us stop this discussion because it is not a topic of our concern and move to the next topic. So this is the representation of how all these sets of numbers they look like. So the biggest set is of real numbers. So it comprises of all the irrational numbers as well as the rational numbers. This is the set of rational numbers. So we can see that rational and irrational, they are two different sets. Rational number includes integers, integers include whole numbers, and whole numbers in turn include natural numbers. Now, let us start the discussion of what are factors and what are multiples, because we are going to study about this the use of these terms in two topics, that are LCM and HCF, that is the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. So many times it happens that we don't know the meaning of multiples and what are the factors. So factors, so if I have to explain it by giving example, so if we see the factor of 20, so these include 1, 2, 4 and 5. These are all the factors of 5. This means that 20 can be represented in a combination of these numbers. For example, we can write it as 5 times 4 is equal to 20, and we can also write it as 5 times 2 times 2. 5 times 2 times 2 is equal to 20. This includes 5 and 2. So this is all about factors. And what are multiples? So we have seen that factors, they are limited. So a number is going to have a specific number of factors. But when we talk about multiples, it can be infinite number of multiples. For example, the multiple of 2, it would be 2, 4, 6, 8, and continuing till infinity. So there are a series of numbers that will never end. So therefore, whenever we are going to discuss in terms of multiples, so we are going to see the lowest common multiple, that which is the lowest possible multiple of two numbers, or HCF, that is the highest common factor of any number. So these are relative terms, means these are uh, whenever we talk about this, we have to talk about comparison between two numbers. So we are going to discuss about it a bit later, but before we continue all the basic things, so now the basic points to ponder, that so these points, they must be known. Many times it happens that we don't know about some of those particular numbers. So let's start about prime numbers. So what are prime numbers? These are all the numbers which are divisible only by the number itself and the number 1. So these are certain examples. So for example, if we take the number 13, so if we see that what are the factors of 13, means what are the numbers that can divide 13. So there are only two numbers, 13, that is the number itself, and the number 1. So this is about prime numbers. And now let us talk about composite numbers. So composite numbers, they are just the reverse of prime numbers, that is the numbers uh, that have more than one factor in common. So this includes 4, 6, 10. So talking about 4, the factors of 4 are 1, 2. So composite numbers, they should have at least two numbers, that is more than one factor. It should have at least one more than one factors. So at a minimum of two and at a maximum they can have an infinite number of numbers, but even though they will be uh, they will have us they will be specific, like like if we take a large number like 1 crore, so even though it is a very large number, but will have a specific numbers of composite numbers. So now let us talk about co-primes. So it is a bit new term to you. So co-prime, it is also a relative term that is talked between two numbers. So they are the numbers that don't have any factor in common. Means if you take the number a set of number 2 and 3. So this number don't have any number in common other than 1. So both of them are called co-prime. Taking another example is 5 and 9. So both of them, they are co-prime numbers. So let's move on and come to the multiplicative identity. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity. It means that 1 multiplied to any number, it is going to be the number itself. That is 5 multiplied by 1 will give us 5. That is the number itself, number 5. 0 multiplied by 1, it will give us 0. This is about multiplicative identity. So additive identity, so 0 is known as the additive identity. That is, whenever 0 is added to any number, it would result in the number itself. 0 added to 1 gives the result 1. 0 added to negative 2 will give the result as negative 2. Now move on. Now some of the basic points that is needed to be remembered, and these are not directly mentioned in the book, but they must be known to you. First of all the prime numbers that are under a root, they are irrational numbers. What does it mean? If we take the root of any number, like for first of all we say like 4, so we get that this number is a rational number. This will give us the result as positive negative 2. But when we take prime numbers such as root over 2, it will always result in a non-terminating and non-repeating number. That is, it will give a number that will never end. So all the prime numbers under a root, they are going to be irrational numbers. Point number 2, the number 1 is neither prime nor composite. So number 1 is it is kept aside from the definition of prime number and composite number. Number 3, the number 2 is the only even prime number. So this is to be noted because it may be asked directly in question that find the LCM of the only even prime number and 2 and 3, 4, any number. So this point is needed to be remembered, and this few questions are from the chapter probability regarding this point. Point number 4, the smallest composite number is 4. So in this chapter you will be having a question that states that uh, write the HCF of the smallest prime number and the smallest composite number. So this point is needed to be remembered. Now coming to the property of HCFs. So the highest common factor of two prime number, it can only be 1, since they don't have anything in common. Any two prime number like 5 and 3, or say 2 and 11. So they are going to have only 1 as a common number. That is the smallest factor. That is going to be the smallest factor and the highest factor when you compare both of this number. So it is needed to be noted that HCF of two prime number is 1. Now talking about what are HCFs and LCM. HCF is the highest common factor. So it is a relative term that is talked between two numbers or more than two numbers. So let us take the example of 4 and 6. So HCF of 4 and 6. So first of all, 4 can be written as 2 times 2 and 6 can be written as 2 times 3. So the highest factor they have in common is 2. So their HCF is going to be equal to 2. So now let's talk about LCM, the lowest common multiple. So talking about the same, taking the same example 4 and 6. So 4 was written as 2 times 2. 4 was written as 2 times 2 and 6 was written as 2 times 3. So here we have the highest multiple 3 and we have the highest multiple 2. So 3 times 2 will give us 6. So one more thing to note here is that let us take an example of a higher number. So let us take it as 20 and 30. So 20 can be written as 2 times 2 times 5 and 30 can be written as 3 times 3 times 5. So here you have to take the highest power of any number. So this can be written as 2 square times 5. Here it is equal to 3 square times 5. So highest power of 5 is 1, highest power of 2 is 2, highest power of 3 is 3. So when you take the LCM of both of this number, it the L the LCM is going to be 2 square multiplied by 3 square times 5. That is 4 times 9 times 5. That is going to be equals to 9 5 is 45. 45 times 4, we have 4 5 times 20, 4 times 4 16, plus 2 18. That is going to be 180. So it is all about all the basic elements of this chapter. So in the next lecture we are going to discuss about Euclid's division algorithm, the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, and all the important concepts in this chapter. Thank you.